What is up, guys? Mauna here from MauGT, back again with another video, and today I wanted to give you guys a quick review on the PlayStation Gold wireless headset. So as I talked about in a previous vlog, for my birthday I received a PS4 Pro, 2 DualShock 4 controllers, one being extra, and this PlayStation Gold wireless headset. So I've been using the PlayStation Gold wireless headset for just a little over a week now, and I thought it would be a good idea to give you guys my thoughts on it, what I think about it after using it for just a little bit. Obviously, I will keep you guys updated on any new experiences that I have, as I have only used this for a short period of time, but these are kind of like my first impressions of the headset after getting it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this. Alright, so before we get into the headset itself, I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at the box since I didn't get to do an unboxing when I first got everything. So on the front of the box, you can see that it says PlayStation in the top left corner, new gold wireless headset, enhanced comfort and performance, 7.1 virtual surround sound, and augmented noise cancelling hidden mics. So it is the new gold wireless headset. I know there have been a couple of other versions of this headset. I know there's a white version and there are a couple of older versions, but this is the newest version that you can buy right now. Obviously it's in the black color, not the white color. I haven't seen a pair of white ones except like in other people's videos, but this is obviously the black pair. Enhanced comfort and performance. Before I get into anything else, I do have to say these are very comfortable. Haven't had any comfort issues, despite the padding looking a little skimpy, and we'll talk about that in just a second, but they are pretty comfortable. In terms of performance, I don't really know how you rate the performance of a headset. I guess by sound quality and whatnot, but I mean, they work pretty well. 7.1 virtual surround sound works pretty well, especially when we're talking about like spatial awareness with things like Fortnite, where you need to hear like footsteps, and when I'm playing Project Cars, I'm trying to hear cars beside me and everything, and hear the engine, and for shifting and all that good stuff. And then augmented noise canceling hidden mics. The noise canceling feature does work very well, but when it says hidden mics, the mics aren't really hidden very well. You can clearly see where they are, and we'll talk about that when I go over the headset itself. So that's the front of the box. Top of the box just says PlayStation and Gold wireless headset. On the right side of the box, it says how games were made to sound. Let's see if I can get that in frame there. It says how games were made to sound. So 7.1 virtual surround sound, as I highlighted on the front, and the headset companion app, which is on the PS4 itself, which you can use to customize game modes and custom profiles. Then on the bottom here, it says compatible hardware, PS4 and PlayStation VR, and we'll talk about this in just a second when we move to the back of the box. So it talks about virtual surround sound and audio modes. So these are only available when you're using the PS4 or the PSVR. You can use this headset with a computer or a phone, but obviously because of the proprietary wireless connection, you do have to use the included cable, and so the virtual surround sound and the custom audio modes are not available when you're using the cable. Sony Entertainment Network and internet service are required. No, you don't have to have PlayStation Plus or anything to use this headset. It's just saying that to download the companion app, you do have to have a PSN account and internet connection, obviously. And then this just talks about, compatibility. You may have to do some updates, and then if you want to use it with a computer or a phone, just make sure you're using the included 3.5mm cable. On the back of the box, it gives you a quick overview of the headset, but I will do that in this video. And then it also says that it's designed to fit with PlayStation VR. So the way the headband and the headset overall is designed, it's designed very well to work specifically with the PlayStation VR. So if you had a PSVR, which I don't, and you wanted to use the headset with a PSVR, this is probably your the best bet of a headset to use with this VR headset. We'll take a look at this side of the box. It just gives you a quick profile of the headset all the way up. And then if we tilt the camera up a little bit, you can see it has the PlayStation logo at the very top there. Then at the bottom here, it tells you what comes in the box. Obviously the gold wireless headset, the wireless adapter, the 3.5mm audio cable, which is about 4 feet long, quick start guide, safety and support guide, and USB micro USB cable for charging. And we'll talk about charging in this video because that's something that we'll get to it. So before we get to the headset itself, we have to talk about this, my least favorite part about the PlayStation Gold wireless headset. So if we zoom in a little bit here, this is the wireless adapter that comes in the box that you have to plug into the back of the PS4 to use the headset. So it's got a PlayStation logo here, which is kind of glossy and reflective and whatnot. Obviously you've got the USB. Then on the back here, you've just got a QR code and some regulatory information, model number, all that good stuff. And the reason why this is my least favorite part of the headset is because I feel like it's not really, I wouldn't say cumbersome necessarily, but I feel like it's not exactly the best solution. You know, the DualShock 4 is such a revolutionary controller. It's got all these new features. And you would think that Sony would, you know, maybe find a way to integrate this directly into the PS4 system. So, you know, you just turn on your headset and the system automatically picks it up without having to go in any pairing menu or anything. Because, I mean, the way this works is you just plug it in, you turn the headset on, it's automatically synced to this adapter, and then it just connects to the system automatically. But I feel like it would be so much more seamless and, you know, a lot more cool and exciting if this adapter system was built directly into the PS4. So you just flick the headset on, you don't have to plug in anything, and it just automatically connects to your system. I feel like that would be a better way to do it, but that's not how they did it, and that's probably my least favorite part, or at least second least favorite part of the headset. So now that we've covered this thing, let's get into the headset itself. Zoom out here. So taking a quick look at the headset, it's, you know, nothing super fancy or anything. It's a traditional headset, obviously with some added features, which we'll talk about. But this is the headset right here. You've got your ear cups. This one is the left one, and this one is the right one. So what I was talking about with the padding, so it's very comfortable, it's very soft, but it's not very deep. It's kind of shallow. But I haven't noticed any comfort issues when using this headset, and it's pretty comfortable. The headband at the top, the cushioning wraps around the entire headset. It's not separated or anything. It's just one seamless piece, and it's a very simple headset. It's nothing fancy. It's just a headband connecting two ear cups. There's no like special design trying to hide any hinges or anything. It's pretty simple. The ear cups themselves move around a little bit, as you can see here and here, and you can slide this up and down to accommodate for any different head sizes. So overall, the fit, you know, it stretches to fit any head. You know, you can move these up and down, as I said previously. The ear cups are comfortable, and the headband is as well, making it a pretty comfortable and good-looking headset. Alright, so now we're going to get into the general functions and buttons and everything of the headset itself. We're going to start with the right side because that's that's the most boring side of the headset. You know, none of the controls are there or anything like that. And generally with headsets, whether I'm using earphones on my phone or, you know, a pair of headphones, I want the controls to be on the right side. And this kind of resonates with this. Like, it's fine to have all the controls on the left side, and a lot of headsets have controls on the left side. But, you know, if they were on the right side, I would just have to take my right hand off the controller to, you know, adjust volume or mute my microphone or something. And then I could keep my left hand on the controller with the directional stick so I can still move my character or drive my car or do what I need to do while my hands are off the controller, instead of having to pause it, make that adjustment, then play again and, you know, do all that stuff. I feel like it'd be better to have the controls on the right side, but that's not a deal breaker at all. So on the right side of the controller, the headset, we've got the PlayStation logo. Nothing else here. You've got a little glossy disc, which is the pivot point for this. This also moves around, like I mentioned. And then on the inside, there's nothing exciting here either. And then if you can see this, if I can drop this down a little bit, you can see that it says right there. So that is obviously the right ear cup. Moving on to the left ear cup, this is where things get exciting. So on the bottom, are your two ports, the only two ports on this thing. So you've got a micro USB port right here. Obviously, I wish this was USB Type-C, all the things, but this isn't, I don't think this came out in a time where USB-C was starting to gain ground. So it's just micro USB, and that's not that big of a deal, but if it was USB-C, which I think they should do in future versions, as well as, add USB-C ports to the PS4 and change the DualShock 4 to USB-C instead of micro USB, you could get faster charging times and like even design special software that can just be uploaded directly on by plugging in a cable. Right here you've got your status LED, so it will turn red when it's charging, blue when it's turned on, flashing when it's connecting. It'll turn a kind of a pinkish hue when you hit the mute button to mute the microphone. You've got your power on and off switch. You see it says off 1 and 2. That's because you can load different audio presets and profiles onto the headset. Here is one of those not so hidden noise canceling microphones. Actually, I don't know if this is the noise canceling microphone or not, but it is one of the microphones on the headset. Moving again, we have our sound and chat balance. So you can change the balance from between the PS4's and system and game audio to your chat audio, instead of having to hold down the PS button and going into the audio menu to change that balance. Rotating some more, I believe this is part of the surround sound and noise canceling. I'm not quite sure exactly what that is. Here we have the VSS switch, so that is virtual surround sound, so you can toggle that on and off if you want to. Right here you have your volume. So basically the headset would be on your head like this, then you just reach up behind your ear and drop that down or push it up, and then your sound and chat balance is right here, so you just push that up or push that down. So there's the volume there, and then your mute switch is right here, which brings us back around to the micro USB port. So the buttons are nice and clicky. They offer a good amount of feedback, and I haven't really had much trouble finding the buttons once I got used to wearing the headset. They're very responsive. They work, first time they're pressed, and I haven't had any issues with the buttons. And I mean, they're just buttons. Hopefully you wouldn't have any issues with them. Alright, so now we're going to show you guys how these fit on my head. Again, I mentioned in the beginning that they are very, very comfortable. So this is the left side, this is the right side. So if we go ahead and put these on, and one thing I'd like to mention is that before you even turn the headset on and connect it to your PS4, the noise isolation is very, very good. So I won't even have to turn these on, and I'll barely be able to hear myself, and I certainly won't be able to hear any outside noise. So if you're in a focused gaming session, you don't want to be disrupted by anything, these are a very, very good pair of headphones. So if we go ahead and slide these on here, you can see that there is some space here and here, which is to be expected. Obviously my head isn't shaped directly to these, but it's very, very comfortable, and there is a lot of adjustment room, so I can put these all the way up here, or I can drop them all the way down here, as you can see. And I mean, obviously this doesn't really fit on my head particularly, but if you have a large cabeza, you will feel right at home with this headset. Everything is really comfortable, and despite the padding being a little skimpy, it doesn't put a lot of pressure on your ears, so it's very comfortable, like I said, despite the sort of skimpy padding. So again, all your controls are on the left side of the headset, so volume up, volume down, mute, sound, and chat balance, and then virtual surround sound, and obviously there's nothing here. So this is just how it looks on there. So again, volume's back here, sound chat balance is up here, mute is down here, you got your power switch, and all that good stuff. And then over here, this is just how this looks. There's nothing on this ear cup but the PlayStation logo. So overall, in terms of fit and comfort, they fit really, really well. They're very comfortable, and I could see myself using these for long periods of gaming, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, however many hours you want to play. These are very comfortable for all that good stuff. Alright, so now that we've gone over the headset itself, all the buttons and functions on it, now we can take a look at the PS4 itself and cover the headset companion app. So as you can see, it is here in the PlayStation Store. It is completely free. It's about 74 megabytes, not very large, especially when you consider that pretty much every PS4 has at least 500 gigs of storage. This one, the PS4 Pro, has 1 terabyte. So again, here in the PlayStation Store, it's completely free, and you can go in here and read what it's about. So it lets you load, custom tunes made by the game studios to hear what you need to hear in the game. It can be used with the numerous amount of wireless PlayStation headsets, and it works pretty well. I haven't used it extensively, but it's nice for, loading different presets on, I'm sure. So if we go ahead over here and we're going to go here, make sure that's closed. We're going to hit start. So you'll see when we start it up, give it just a second here, it lets you select your headset. So obviously this is the one that we have, but this is the other Gold Wireless headset. We've even got a couple of other ones I've never even seen before. Now if we go to the home screen, we hit close application, we're going to go over to our headset, and we're going to focus in. Then we're going to find the switch. I'm behind the camera, so it's kind of hard to see. We're going to find the switch here, which is right here. We're going to flick it back just 1. So that'll put it into audio mode 1, which is just the default audio mode. And then up here on the left, you can see it shows the headset is connected, and it shows the battery life is full, and then it shows you the microphone is switched to the headset. And I don't know if you guys could hear, but it switched all the audio over to the headset because I have it set that way. So now, making sure that this is closed, if we go into Headset Companion, we wait for it to load up, headset is automatically detected. So you can go through and see all the different audio modes that game studios have tuned specifically for this headset. You've got some preset modes, adjustable EQ, and just for this purpose, I already stored a Red Dead 2 tune on there. I don't actually own the game. This was just a sample thing that I did. So we can go up and we can pick any of these ones. So we can tune it to hear voices. We can tune it for a kind of a quieter night mode, a flat EQ. So we're going to go and we're going to load the bass boost tune on there. So it doesn't really give you very many details. The Red Dead one and the game tuned ones give you a little more details. But if we just hit, or if I can hit triangle, see details, it just says delivers big and bold bass sounds. So if I go ahead and hit the cross button, I can store it in slot 2. Slot 1 is locked. So it'll do some checks. It'll say the audio mode is ready. It'll check for the USB adapter, make sure the headset's turned on, and then it will store it to slot 2. And I can hit done. And so to switch to that bass boosted mode, all you have to do is grab your headset, get to the switch, push it back 1 more, and you're good to go. And you are now in audio mode 2. So that's pretty much it for the companion app. It just lets you load custom tunes on there and all that good stuff. Alright, so now that we have gone over the app and all that it can do, we're going to do one more quick overview of the controls on the headset before we jump into my final thoughts and what I think about the headset. So we're going to go ahead and flick it on. We're just going to put it in the audio mode 1 by flicking the switch back 1 notch. Boom. So the headset is on. Just going to wait for it to connect. Connects pretty quickly, shows us our battery percentage, not really percentage, but just general battery life, as it does for the DS4, DualShock 4. So we're going to go over the controls one more time. So you've got your volume controls in back here, so if I hit it once, you can see that it pops up showing that the volume is increasing. So you see it has 3 there, and now I can drop it down, and it'll come up. And it does take a while for the prompts or for the little screen to come up showing that you're adjusting the volume, but you can hear a beep in the headset that lets you know that the volume has been changed. You've got the virtual surround sound button up top here, so if I hit that once, the pop-up should come up and tell us that we've turned off virtual surround sound. And it's not, weirdly. But yeah, we'll talk about that. And then if I hit the mute, so it comes up that the mute is turning on and off, but I guess you can't turn off the VSS when you're not in a game, it appears. But if I press the mute button again, that pops up. So those are the controls, just a brief overview of them. You can change your sound chat balance, but that's not really going to do much right now since I am not in a party. But that's just one more brief overview of the controls. Alright guys, so now that we've talked about the companion app and its features, a general overview of the controller and all of its functions, it's time to wrap everything up into my final thoughts and tell you guys what I think about the PlayStation Gold wireless headset after using it for just a little over a week. So the PlayStation Gold wireless headset is a very good headset. It is by no means a bad headset. It works very well. It's integrated well with the PS4 and the general ecosystem, and we've talked about how it's designed specifically to be used with the PlayStation VR, with the way it's shaped. It's a very comfortable headset. It's not too big or too small. It's not obnoxiously heavy, but it's also not so light that it feels cheap. The padding is nice and comfortable, and you could use this for long gaming sessions if you needed to. However, this headset does fall short in some areas. One of these is just, my personal gripe with it, and that's just because it doesn't automatically connect to the system. You do have to plug something in. I feel like it would be a much more seamless and better integrated experience if all you had to do was just flick the switch and it would automatically pair, and then you could have different settings per profile and whatnot. And if you got a new PlayStation system, all your sync data would carry over. You just flick it on and it automatically connects, similar to how like AirPods work, where if you have one device with your Apple ID signed in, you turn on your AirPods and they automatically connect. They should do a similar thing with this, where everything is just built into every single system. You just flick the switch and you're good to go. That would be a lot more seamless than having to plug in a USB dongle, especially if you have external audio or external hard drives and things like that that are taking up your USB ports. I feel like a truly wireless solution without having to actually plug anything in would be much better. Another area in which this headset falls apart is battery life. So I have been using this headset actually not a little over a week, a little less than a week, and I've already had to charge it. With a headset as big as this is, I mean, it's fairly light, so there isn't anything serious going on within the ear cups and the drivers and these things. So I feel like there should have been a lot of room for a good, a good size battery. We've got smartphones with 4,000, 5,000 milliamp hour batteries, and they're lasting days. And while this obviously lasts longer than a day, I feel like the battery life could be better than it is. I feel like the battery life of the headset is comparable to the battery life of the DualShock 4. And when you think about it, the DualShock 4 is a much smaller, like a smaller package. This has 2 ear cups, potential for 2 separate cells to be connected by a cable somewhere in the headband. And for this to have almost the exact same battery life as the DualShock 4, I think is personally unacceptable. As this is, somewhat bigger, they should have been able to fit a larger battery and thus gotten longer battery life. As my DualShock 4 battery went down, I've already had to charge that thing once this week. As my DualShock 4 battery went down, the battery on this went down as well. So I had to charge it last night and stop using this and then switch to a pair of my own wired just earbuds. It's not a deal breaker, as you can just plug it in directly to the controller using the included 3.5mm cable, but it's kind of unreliable to not have long enough battery life, and then in the middle of a gaming session, your headset just dies. That could be improved in the next version if they are planning on releasing a new version of this headset. But battery life and I feel like truly implemented connection would really make this a very enticing product. Another thing is the unreliability of the headset itself. There have been times where I would turn the headset on and it would connect just fine, and then I'd turn the headset off and the PS4 would act as if the headset was still connected. And in order to fix that, I had to go to the back of my PS4, which is where I've plugged in the dongle so I don't see it, so it's not an eyesore, it's not sticking out or anything. I've plugged the dongle into the back of the control or the back of the console, so every time I have an issue or something weird happens with the headset, I have to go back there, unplug it, and plug it back in. Sometimes I have to restart my entire PS4. I don't know if this could be solved with an update for these or an update for the PS4, but the general unreliability is another issue. You saw when I was trying to turn on and off VSS, it wouldn't respond, but the mute button and the volume button were working just fine. Sometimes the controls on the side don't work at all. That's only happened like once or twice out of the, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 times I've used the headset. But that unreliability and the idea that you won't always be able to turn these on and just get gaming right away shows that this is not a very well finished product. It still needs some work. They've made 2 versions of this. They're still learning, and they still need to make some improvements in order to make this a true contender in the gaming headset space. The microphone isn't particularly high quality. It's just built into the headset. A better quality mic could be used, and it's just these little things here and there which prevent it from, standing up with things like Astro headsets and Turtle Beach headsets, which are obviously more expensive, but they're definitely worth that higher price. But when it comes to, having a Sony-made PlayStation exclusive headset, I feel like the integration should be better, it should be higher quality, better battery life, and I feel like those things would make this a true contender in the gaming headset space. But for a wireless gaming headset that is designed to work natively with the PS4, it works very well. Again, it's by no means a bad headset, but there are definitely some things that could be improved on this thing in order to make it an even better headset. So that's it for my review on the PlayStation Gold wireless headset. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if there's anything I missed or anything you want me to cover specifically with the headset. I will be happy to do that for you guys. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. The new Twitter and the Instagram that I've had for a little while are both linked in the description below. Make sure to share this video with your friends and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I hope you guys all have a great day, and peace out.